Warrior and an earth dog had saved not just each other, but the soul of the automatic doors of the New Angeles police station slid open with their usual quiet hiss. But what walked through them made every officer in the lobby freeze. A massive silverback gorilla, standing nearly 7 feet tall, stepped into the fluorescent-lit space. His dark eyes scanned the room with obvious intelligence, and cradled gently in his enormous arms was a human baby. Officer Maria Santos had seen many strange things during her 15 years on the force, but nothing quite like this. The gorilla moved with purpose, his knuckles barely touching the polished floor as he approached the front desk. The baby in his arms couldn't have been more than 6 months old, wrapped in what appeared to be some kind of metallic blanket that shimmered under the lights. "Jesus Christ," whispered Sergeant Tom Bradley from behind the bulletproof glass. His hand instinctively moved toward his weapon, but something about the gorilla's calm demeanor made him hesitate. The animal showed no signs of aggression. If anything, he seemed protective of the infant he carried. The gorilla stopped directly in front of the reception desk and looked up at Sergeant Bradley. For a moment, the two beings simply stared at each other. Then the gorilla did something that made everyone in the station question their sanity. He spoke. "Help." The word came out in a deep, rumbling voice that was clearly not human, yet unmistakably intelligent. "Baby needs help." The lobby erupted in confused voices. Officers reached for their radios, calling for backup, animal control, and anyone who might know how to handle a talking gorilla. But Maria Santos stepped forward, her training kicking in despite the surreal situation. "Sir," she said, addressing the gorilla directly. "Can you understand me?" The gorilla nodded slowly. "Yes, understand, baby." "From ship crashed." Maria's mind raced. "A ship? What kind of ship?" She looked more closely at the metallic blanket wrapped around the infant. It wasn't any material she recognized. The fabric seemed to shift and change color slightly as she watched, and there were strange symbols etched along its edges. "What kind of ship?" Maria asked, keeping her voice calm and professional. The gorilla's eyes grew sad. "Skyship from far place. All others dead. Only baby lives." Chief of Police Robert Hayes had arrived, pushing through the crowd of officers. He was a practical man who had dealt with everything from drug cartels to domestic terrorists, but this was clearly outside his experience. However, he recognized the intelligence in the gorilla's eyes and the genuine concern in his voice. "You saved this baby?" Chief Hayes asked. "Yes, ship on fire. Heard crying. Got baby out." The gorilla's speech was simple but clear. "Brought here. You help baby." Dr. Sarah Chen from the city's emergency medical team had been called and arrived within minutes. As she approached, the gorilla gently extended the baby toward her. The infant was clearly not entirely human. Its skin had a slight blue tint and its eyes were larger than normal, with an unusual golden color. But it was definitely alive and appeared healthy. "The baby seems fine physically," Dr. Chen said after a quick examination. "But these aren't entirely human features. Where did you say it came from?" "Far place," the gorilla repeated. "Many stars away." The implications hit everyone at once. This wasn't just a talking gorilla and a strange baby. This was potential first contact with an alien species. And somehow a gorilla had become the unlikely hero of the situation. Maria knelt down to the gorilla's eye level. "What's your name?" The gorilla considered this for a moment. "Caesar," he said finally. "Called Caesar." "Caesar, where is this ship now?" Caesar pointed toward the windows facing east. "Forest, beyond hills, still burning." Chief Hayes immediately got on his radio, calling for fire departments and emergency responders to search the forests east of the city. If there really was a crashed spacecraft out there, it needed to be contained and investigated. "Caesar," Maria said gently, "how do you know how to talk? How do you know to bring the baby here?" Caesar's eyes grew distant, as if remembering something painful. "Made smart." Humans made Caesar smart, but humans also made Caesar different. Caesar escape. Live in forest long time. Hear the crash. Hear crying. No babies need help. The room fell silent as the implications sank in. Caesar was clearly the result of some kind of scientific experiment. Probably illegal genetic modification or enhancement. He had escaped from whatever facility created him and had been living wild in the forests surrounding the city. "The baby," Dr. Chen said, still examining the infant. "It's definitely not fully human, but it's also not entirely alien. There's something familiar about the genetic markers I'm seeing. Caesar watched the doctor work with obvious concern. Baby safe? The baby is safe, Dr. Chen assured him. But we need to understand more about where it came from. As if summoned by the conversation, Agent Patricia Wolf from the Department of Extraterrestrial Affairs walked through the front doors. The DEA had been established just 5 years earlier after several confirmed UFO sightings, but this was their first actual contact situation. I understand we have a situation here, Agent Wolf said, her eyes immediately fixing on Caesar and the baby. My God, it's real. Caesar looked at the new human with suspicion. Who this? I'm here to help, Agent Wolf said carefully. We need to understand what happened. Can you tell me more about the ship? Caesar's expression grew wary. Many humans come now. Caesar know humans. Some good, some bad. Which you? Agent Wolf smiled slightly. That's a very smart question, Caesar. I hope I'm one of the good ones. The baby began to cry, a sound that was almost musical with harmonics that human babies didn't produce. Caesar immediately became agitated, reaching for the infant. Baby scared, he said. Too many people. Too much noise. Chief Hayes made a decision. Everyone except essential personnel clear the lobby. Dr. Chen, Agent Wolf, and Santos stay. Everyone else give them space. As the crowd dispersed, Caesar seemed to relax slightly. The baby's crying subsided as the noise level dropped. Caesar, Agent Wolf said softly, I need you to know that this baby might be the most important discovery in human history. We need to protect it, and we need to find that ship. Will you help us? Caesar looked at each of the humans in turn, his intelligent eyes seeming to weigh their intentions. Finally, he nodded. Caesar, help. But Caesar, stay with baby. Baby needs Caesar. Of course, Agent Wolf agreed. We wouldn't separate you. What none of them knew was that high above the Earth, other ships were watching. The crashed vessel had been sending out a distress signal, and now its location had been found. The rescue was about to become much more complicated. Galaxy. The forest east of New Angeles was ablaze with activity. Fire trucks surrounded the crash site, their hoses working overtime to contain the strange blue flames that seemed to burn without consuming the surrounding trees. The spacecraft itself was unlike anything the emergency responders had ever seen. It was roughly triangular, about the size of a city bus, and made from a material that seemed to shift between silver and black, depending on the angle of view. Back at the police station, Caesar sat in Chief Hayes' office, still holding the alien baby. The infant had fallen asleep, making soft purring sounds that were oddly comforting. Agent Wolf had set up a secure communication line to various government agencies, while Dr. Chen continued her examination of both Caesar and the baby. The genetic modifications done to Caesar are remarkable, Dr. Chen explained to the assembled group. Someone didn't just enhance his intelligence. They've given him an understanding of human language, emotion, and social structure that goes far beyond what we thought possible. Caesar listened to this discussion with interest. Humans in white coats made Caesar smart, but also made Caesar remember things that hurt. Caesar not want to hurt anyone. What kind of things do you remember? Agent Wolf asked gently. Caesar's eyes grew dark. Tests, needles, cages, other animals who screamed. Caesar learned that smart not always good. Smart mean you understand pain more. The room fell silent. Everyone was beginning to understand that Caesar's story was one of escape from scientific experimentation. Yet despite his traumatic past, he had chosen to save an alien infant and bring it to the authorities for help. Dr. Chen's tablet chimed with an incoming message. Her face went pale as she read it. The preliminary analysis from the crash site. The ship's hull contains elements that don't exist on our periodic table. We're definitely dealing with technology far beyond our current understanding. And the biological samples? Agent Wolf asked. That's the interesting part. The ship contains traces of DNA that matches the baby's, but also human DNA. A lot of it. Caesar looked up sharply. Humans on ship? It appears so, Dr. Chen said. But they're not entirely human anymore. The genetic markers suggest extensive modification, enhancement, hybridization with something else. Agent Wolf's secure phone rang. She answered it quickly, her expression growing more serious with each word. When she hung up, she looked around the room grimly. We have a problem. Satellites have detected 3 more ships approaching Earth's atmosphere. They'll be here within the hour. Caesar stood up carefully, still cradling the baby. Baby's family come. We don't know their intentions, Agent Wolf said. They could be hostile. Or they could be parents looking for their child, Chief Hayes pointed out. If someone took my kid, I'd move heaven and earth to get them back. Caesar walked to the window looking up at the sky. Caesar, feel them. Up there, watching, worried. You can feel them? Dr. Chen asked, fascinated. Baby makes Caesar feel things. Like connection. Baby very special. Not just baby. Something more. Agent Wolf was already coordinating with military officials. Fighter jets were being scrambled. Defensive systems activated. The entire city was about to be placed under emergency protocols. Wait, Caesar said, his voice firm despite its simplicity. Caesar have idea. Everyone turned to look at him. The massive gorilla held the sleeping alien infant with infinite care, his expression thoughtful. Caesar, take baby outside. Show Sky people baby safe. Baby loved. Maybe Sky people not angry then? Absolutely not, Agent Wolf said immediately. We can't risk your safety or the baby's. Agent Wolf right, Chief Hayes agreed. We don't know what weapons these ships might have. Caesar looked at them with patient intelligence. Caesar live in forest long time. Caesar know when things dangerous, when things scared. Sky people not dangerous. Sky people scared. Scared for baby. Dr. Chen had been monitoring the baby's vital signs throughout the conversation. Actually, Caesar might be right. The baby's brain activity has been increasing steadily since he mentioned feeling the approaching ships. It's as if the child is responding to some kind of signal. The baby opened its golden eyes and looked directly at Caesar. For a moment, the room was filled with a subtle harmonious sound like singing just at the edge of hearing. Baby talking to family, Caesar said with certainty. Baby, tell them about Caesar. Tell them Caesar good. Agent Wolf's phone rang again. This time, when she answered, her expression shifted from concern to amazement. The ships have stopped their approach. They're maintaining position just outside our atmosphere. They wait, Caesar said. They want baby back, but they not want to hurt. Sky people, good people. Like Caesar try to be good. Chief Hayes made a decision that would change everything. Agent Wolf, can you patch me through to whatever communication system these ships are using? I can try, but we don't know if they speak any Earth languages. Caesar gently touched the baby's forehead. The infant made that musical sound again, and suddenly the police station speakers crackled to life. Human authorities, a voice said in perfect English, though with an odd cadence that suggested it wasn't the speaker's native language. We seek our lost child. We mean no harm to your world. Everyone in the room stared at each other. First contact was happening in a small-town police station, mediated by an escaped laboratory gorilla. Chief Hayes stepped forward. This is Chief Hayes of the New Angeles Police Department. Your child is safe. It was rescued from your crashed vessel by a friend. We are grateful, the voice continued. The one called Caesar has shown great wisdom and compassion. We would like to retrieve our child and offer compensation for your kindness. Caesar moved closer to the microphone. Sky people hear Caesar. There was a pause, then a different voice, warmer and more emotional. We hear you, brave Caesar. You have saved our most precious gift. How can we repay such kindness? Caesar not want payment, the gorilla said simply. Caesar want to know baby will be safe. Baby will be loved. Our child will be cherished always, the voice assured him, as will the memory of your courage. Dr. Chen was frantically taking notes. This is incredible. They're not just technologically advanced, they're showing clear emotional intelligence, empathy, gratitude. Agent Wolf looked conflicted. I should be following protocols for first contact situations, but honestly, Caesar seems to be handling this better than any government official could. The baby began to make happy sounds, reaching toward the ceiling as if it could sense its family approaching. Caesar smiled, the first truly joyful expression anyone had seen from him. Caesar think everything going to be okay, he said, baby going home. And maybe humans and sky people can be friends. But outside, unknown to anyone in the police station, other forces were mobilizing. Military units that didn't officially exist were moving into position around the city. Not everyone in the government was as optimistic about first contact as the people in Chief Hayes' office. The real test was about to begin. The first sign that things were about to become complicated came when Agent Wolf's secure phone started buzzing with incoming calls she couldn't ignore. While she stepped away to take them, Caesar continued his gentle conversation with the alien ships through the police station speakers. Your world is beautiful, the warm voice from space said. We have been watching from afar for many cycles, hoping someday to make peaceful contact. Sky people been watching Earth? Caesar asked, his curiosity evident. Yes, gentle Caesar. Your species shows such potential, both the cruelty that harmed you and the compassion you have shown our child. We have been waiting to see which nature would prove stronger. Chief Hayes exchanged glances with Dr. Chen. The implications were staggering. Humanity had been under observation, possibly for decades or longer, and apparently, they were being judged on their actions. What you see when you watch humans? Caesar asked. There was a pause before the voice answered. We see a young species struggling to find its way. We see great capacity for both creation and destruction, but most importantly, we see individuals like you, Caesar, who choose kindness even after experiencing cruelty. Agent Wolf returned, her face grim. We have a problem. Military command has decided this situation poses a national security threat. They're sending in a tactical team to secure the baby and establish military control of the contact situation. No, Caesar said firmly, holding the baby closer. Baby, not weapon. Baby, just baby. I know that, Caesar. But try explaining it to a general who sees alien technology as either a threat or an opportunity to advance our military capabilities. Dr. Chen looked alarmed. If they try to take the baby by force, how will the ships react? We could be starting an interstellar war over a misunderstanding. Through the speakers, the alien voice had clearly heard their conversation. We are aware of your military mobilization. We do not wish conflict, but we will protect our child. Chief Hayes grabbed his radio. All units, be advised that military personnel may be approaching the station. No one is to interfere with Caesar or the baby without my direct authorization. Chief, Officer Santos said over the radio, we've got black SUVs surrounding the building, armed personnel taking positions. Caesar walked to the window and looked down at the street. His enhanced eyesight easily picked out the tactical teams setting up equipment. Humans with guns, he said sadly. Always humans with guns when things get different. Caesar, the voice from the ship said, you have shown us much about humanity today, both its capacity for compassion and its tendency toward fear and aggression. We would like to offer you a choice. What choice? Come with us when we retrieve our child. We can offer you a home among the stars, where your intelligence will be valued and your kindness appreciated. The room went silent. Caesar, an escaped laboratory subject who had known nothing but forests and hiding for years, was being offered the chance to leave Earth entirely. Caesar, not no, he said slowly. Earth only home, Caesar no. But Earth also place where humans hurt Caesar. Dr. Chen stepped forward. Caesar, not all humans are like the ones who hurt you. There are many who would welcome you, who would want to learn from you. But many more who would fear me, Caesar replied with wisdom beyond his enhanced genetics. Caesar, no humans. Some good, some bad. But scared humans very dangerous. The sound of boots on stairs echoed through the building. The tactical team was coming up. Chief Hayes, Agent Wolf said urgently, I need you to understand something. If this goes wrong, if we start shooting at those ships, we're not just risking a diplomatic incident. We're risking the future of our entire species. These beings have technology we can't even comprehend. They could wipe us out without breaking a sweat. Then what do you suggest? Before Agent Wolf could answer, the office door burst open. 6 heavily armed soldiers in black gear stormed in, weapons raised. Nobody move, the team leader shouted. We're here to secure the alien artifact and establish government control of this situation. Caesar stood very still, his massive frame protecting the baby. Baby, not artifact. Baby is baby. Sir, step away from the alien, the soldier commanded. Caesar, not sir. Caesar is Caesar. And Caesar, not step away from baby. Dr. Chen moved between the soldiers and Caesar. This is completely unnecessary. The situation is under control. Ma'am, step aside. We have orders to secure any alien technology or biological specimens. The baby began to cry, that musical sound filling the room, and through the speakers the alien voice spoke with a new, harder edge. Our child is distressed, explain. Agent Wolf grabbed the microphone. There's been a misunderstanding. Some of our people think your child might be dangerous. Our child is 3 cycles old. The only danger it poses is to the sleep schedules of its parents. Remove your weapons from its presence immediately. The team leader looked confused. Command, be advised the alien is communicating through some kind of transmission system. Caesar looked at the soldiers with deep sadness. Caesar, try to do good thing. Bring baby to safe place. But humans always make things complicated. Look, Chief Hayes said, stepping forward despite the weapons pointed in his direction. I don't care what your orders are. That gorilla saved an alien baby from a burning spaceship and brought it here for help. He's shown more courage and decency than any of us. If you want to shoot someone for doing the right thing, you'll have to go through me first. Officer Santos appeared in the doorway behind the tactical team. Chief, we've got a problem. Those ships up there, they're not just sitting still anymore. They're powering up something that's making every electronic device in the city go haywire. Through the speakers, the alien voice was now clearly strained. We are losing patience. Our child's distress is affecting our systems. Please resolve this situation peacefully. Caesar made a decision. He began walking toward the soldiers still holding the baby. Caesar, go outside now. Take baby to family. Humans can fight humans. Caesar, just want baby safe. Sir, do not move. The team leader shouted. Or what? Caesar asked, his voice carrying a weight of sadness and resignation. You shoot Caesar? Caesar already been hurt by humans. Caesar already know humans afraid of different things. But Caesar not let baby be hurt because humans scared. Dr. Chen suddenly spoke up. Wait, everyone wait. I've been monitoring the baby's vital signs this whole time, and I've noticed something important. All eyes turned to her. The baby's brain activity spikes every time Caesar is threatened or distressed. I think there's some kind of psychic or telepathic connection between them. The baby isn't just communicating with its people up there. It's bonded with Caesar. Caesar looked down at the infant in his arms, understanding flooding his features. Baby choose Caesar. Like Caesar choose baby. Through the speakers, the alien voice spoke with wonder. This is extraordinary. Our child has formed a bond with you, Caesar. Such connections are rare and precious among our people. The baby stopped crying and looked up at Caesar with those golden eyes, making soft musical sounds that seemed almost like words. What is baby saying? Caesar asked. Your child is saying that Caesar is family now, the voice replied. And family protects family. The implications of this statement were about to change everything, as more ships began appearing in the sky above the city. The tactical team leader was speaking rapidly into his headset, clearly receiving new orders as more alien ships materialized in the sky above New Angeles. Through the windows, they could see at least a dozen vessels of various sizes, all maintaining perfect formation just above the cloud line. Command is aborting the seizure mission, the team leader announced, lowering his weapon. We're to maintain a perimeter and observe only. Agent Wolf looked relieved. Good. Now maybe we can resolve this without starting an interstellar war. Caesar had moved to the window, still holding the baby, and was looking up at the ships with wonder. So many. Baby have big family. Indeed we do, the voice from the speakers said, and now it carried a warmth that suggested amusement. Caesar, would you be willing to meet some of us face to face? We would like to thank you properly for your kindness to our child. Dr. Chen looked alarmed. Is that safe? We don't know anything about their biology, their atmosphere needs, potential diseases. We have been studying your world for many cycles, the voice assured her. We are biologically compatible with your environment, and we carry no pathogens that would harm you. In fact, our medical knowledge might be of great benefit to your people. Chief Hayes was coordinating with city emergency services, trying to manage the crowds that were gathering in the streets to stare at the alien ships. Agent Wolf, how do we handle a first contact situation with thousands of civilians watching? Very carefully, she replied, and with complete transparency. The last thing we want is panic or conspiracy theories. Caesar was making soft sounds to the baby, who responded with those musical tones. The conversation between them seemed to be growing more complex, as if the infant was somehow teaching Caesar its language. The bond grows stronger, the alien voice observed. Caesar, you have a remarkable capacity for interspecies communication. Has this been part of your enhancement? Caesar not know. Caesar just understand. Baby talk with feelings, not words. Caesar understand feelings. Dr. Chen was frantically taking notes. This is incredible. We're witnessing the development of what might be the first human-alien telepathic link in real time. Through the window, they could see one of the smaller ships beginning to descend toward the parking lot behind the police station. It moved without any visible propulsion system, silent as a falling leaf. Our delegation ship is landing, the voice announced. 3 of our people will come to meet you. They mean no harm and carry no weapons. The tactical team leader was back on his radio. Command, be advised alien vessel is landing in our location. Requesting instructions. Agent Wolf grabbed the radio from him. All military units, stand down. Any aggressive action could be interpreted as an act of war. I'm invoking Protocol 7 under the Department of Extraterrestrial Affairs emergency provisions. Caesar watched the landing ship with fascination. Beautiful, he said simply. Like Big Bird made of light. The ship touched down with no sound at all, its surface shifting colors like oil on water. A section of the hull simply became transparent, and 3 figures stepped out. The aliens were humanoid but clearly not human. They stood about 7 feet tall with elongated limbs and graceful movements. Their skin had a slight iridescent quality, and their faces were more angular than human features, with large eyes that reflected light like a cat's. They wore simple, flowing garments that seemed to shift color with their movements. They beautiful too, Caesar said, and there was no fear in his voice, only wonder. The lead alien looked directly up at the window where Caesar stood with the baby. When their eyes met, Caesar felt a warm sensation in his mind like a gentle greeting. Caesar. The voice now came not from the speakers, but directly from the alien below. May we come inside? We would like to meet the one who saved our precious child. Yes, Caesar said immediately. Caesar want to meet baby's family. Chief Hayes was coordinating the building security. All personnel, we have 3 alien visitors coming inside. Everyone remain calm and professional. This is a historic moment. As the aliens entered the building, their grace and obvious intelligence were immediately apparent. They moved with purpose but without urgency, clearly demonstrating that they came in peace. When they reached the office, the lead alien stopped, just inside the doorway, and looked at Caesar with an expression that needed no translation. It was pure gratitude. You are Caesar, the alien said, its voice now clearly coming from its throat, though it still had that musical quality. I am Zara. This child you have saved is my offspring kin. Caesar carefully approached Zara, still holding baby kin. Baby is beautiful. Baby is special. Yes, very special, Zara agreed. And now, because of the bond that is formed, Caesar is special too. Dr. Chen couldn't contain her scientific curiosity. The bond Caesar mentioned, what exactly does that mean? The second alien, who had been quietly observing, stepped forward. I am Tren, a student of interspecies psychology. What has happened here is unprecedented. Your Caesar has formed what we call a soul link with young kin. Such bonds usually only form between members of our own species, and only rarely. What does that mean for Caesar? Agent Wolf asked. It means, the third alien spoke for the first time, that Caesar is no longer entirely of your species. The bond changes both participants. Kin will carry some of Caesar's emotional patterns, and Caesar will develop some of our cognitive abilities. Caesar looked down at baby Kin, who was making happy musical sounds and reaching up toward his face. Caesar feel different already, smarter, understand more things. The enhancement your people gave you prepared your mind for this, Zara explained. Without that preparation, such a bond would not have been possible. Chief Hayes was struggling to process all of this. So you're saying Caesar is becoming part alien? Not exactly, Tren corrected. He is becoming something new. Neither fully human nor fully of our kind, but a bridge between our species. Caesar sat down carefully, still holding Kin. Caesar understand now. This why baby was on ship that crashed. Baby meant to come to Earth. Baby meant to find Caesar. Zara's expression grew sad. The ship that crashed was carrying a diplomatic mission. We had hoped to make formal contact with your governments to establish peaceful relations. Kin was aboard because we believed the journey would be safe. What went wrong? Agent Wolf asked. Your military detected our approach and fired what you call warning shots. Our ship was damaged trying to avoid them and crashed in your forest. Everyone aboard was killed except for Kin, who was in a protected pod. The room fell silent as the implications sank in. Humanity's first contact with an alien species had begun with humans shooting at them. We're sorry, Chief Hayes said, and his voice carried the weight of his species' mistake. We're not all like that. Many of us want peace. We know, Zara said gently. Caesar has shown us that. And now, we have a decision to make about the future. The decision Zara mentioned was interrupted by Agent Wolf's secure phone ringing, with an urgent tone that meant only one thing. The president was calling. She stepped away to take the call, while Caesar continued his gentle interaction with baby Kin and the three aliens. Caesar feels something, the gorilla said suddenly, his enhanced awareness picking up something the others couldn't sense. More ships coming. Different ships. Not same as Kin's people. Zara's expression immediately became tense. Tren, extend your perception. The second alien closed his large eyes and stood very still for a moment. When he opened them, his face showed clear concern. Caesar is correct. 3 vessels approaching from the outer system. They are not from our confederation. Who are they? Dr. Chen asked. Hunters, the third alien said grimly. There are species in the galaxy who see developing worlds like yours as resources to be harvested. They follow diplomatic missions like ours, hoping to find young civilizations they can exploit. Agent Wolf returned, her face pale. The president wants to know if we need to evacuate the city. Apparently NASA is tracking multiple new objects entering our solar system. Not evacuate, Zara said. Defend. The harvesters will not simply take what they want and leave. They will strip your world of everything valuable, including your people. Caesar stood up, still holding Kin, his expression determined. Then we fight. Caesar, protect baby. Caesar, protect Earth. Caesar, Tren said gently. You do not understand the scale of what is coming. Harvester ships can destroy cities from orbit. Their technology is centuries ahead of both your people and ours. Then why Caesar not scared? The gorilla asked. Caesar feel strong, like Caesar can do things Caesar never could before. Dr. Chen had been monitoring Caesar's vital signs throughout their conversation. His brain activity has increased by over 300% since the bond formed. Caesar, can you feel Kin's family up in the ships? Caesar nodded. All of them, like big warm feeling. They scared but ready to fight for baby. Zara looked at Caesar with growing amazement. The bond is stronger than we realized. Caesar, you are not just connected to Kin. You are connected to our entire fleet consciousness. What does that mean? Chief Hayes asked. It means, the third alien explained, that Caesar has become a living communication link between our species. Through him, we could coordinate our ships with your military forces in ways that would normally take years of preparation. Agent Wolf was already on her radio, coordinating with military command. We need every available aircraft in the air, all missile defense systems online, and I want contact with the Pentagon in the next 5 minutes. Outside, the alien ships were repositioning themselves into what was clearly a defensive formation. The citizens of New Angeles were being evacuated to underground shelters, though many stood on rooftops and in streets, unwilling to miss what might be the most important moment in human history. Caesar suddenly winced and staggered slightly. Caesar, feel them coming. The bad ones, they hurt things, hurt many worlds. Baby Kin began to cry. That musical sound now carrying a note of distress that seemed to resonate through the building itself. The child senses the approaching danger through the bond, Zara explained. Caesar, we need you to help us coordinate our defenses with your people's military. Caesar, don't know how. Just feel, Tren said. Feel our ships, feel our intentions, and share that with your people. Caesar closed his eyes and concentrated. Suddenly, Agent Wolf's radio crackled with voices from the alien fleet. Human Military Command, this is Fleet Commander Vel. We are prepared to share our defensive capabilities with your forces if you will accept our assistance. General Morrison's voice came through clearly from the Pentagon. This is unprecedented. Can we trust them? Caesar opened his eyes and spoke directly into the radio. General Morrison, this is Caesar. The Sky people are good. They want to protect Earth. Caesar, trust them. Please trust Caesar. There was a long pause. Caesar, you're the gorilla? Yes, Caesar saved baby. Now Caesar help save Earth. My God, the general said. Agent Wolf, confirm the situation. Sir, the approaching hostiles will reach Earth in approximately 40 minutes. We need to decide now whether to work with the aliens or face this threat alone. Dr. Chen was studying the readings from her equipment. Caesar's brain activity is off the charts. He's somehow processing information from multiple sources simultaneously. It's like he's become a living computer network interface. Caesar was now holding one hand on baby Kin, while extending the other toward Zara. Caesar feel the connection getting stronger, can feel human soldiers getting ready, can feel alien ships powering weapons, can feel the bad ships getting closer. Caesar, Zara said urgently, we need you to help us show your military how to link their targeting systems with our weapons. Can you do that? Caesar try. What happened next would later be called the miracle of New Angeles. Through Caesar's unique bond with both species, the human military and the alien fleet achieved a level of coordination that should have been impossible. Fighter jets began flying in perfect formation with alien ships. Missile defense systems started sharing targeting data with energy weapons that operated on principles human science didn't even understand. Incredible. General Morrison's voice came through the radio. It's like our systems are talking to each other in a language they both understand. Caesar is the language, Zara explained. His mind is translating between our technologies in real time. The first signs of the approaching harvester ships appeared as 3 dark spots against the daylight sky, growing larger by the second. Here they come, Agent Wolf said grimly. Caesar felt a surge of protective instinct unlike anything he had ever experienced. Baby Kin was depending on him. Earth was depending on him. The new family he had found among the stars was depending on him. Caesar ready? He said, his voice carrying a new authority that surprised everyone in the room. Time to show bad ships that Earth protected now. Through the bond, he could feel the crews of dozens of alien ships, thousands of human military personnel, and most importantly, the absolute trust of a baby who had chosen him as family. The harvesters were about to learn that some things in the universe were more powerful than advanced technology. They were about to discover the strength that came from different species choosing to stand together. And they were about to face a gorilla who had decided that this planet and everyone on it was worth protecting. The battle for Earth began not with explosions or laser fire, but with Caesar sitting cross-legged on the floor of a police station, a baby alien in his arms. His eyes closed in concentration as he became the living bridge between 2 species who had never fought together before. Through the windows, they could see the harvester ships descending like dark angels. Each vessel was massive, easily the size of a city block, their hulls black as space, itself and bristling with weapons that looked like metallic thorns. Harvesters opening fire on our outer perimeter, came the voice from the alien fleet. Through Caesar's connection, their weapons are more powerful than we anticipated. Caesar winced as he felt the pain of ships being damaged, crew members being injured. Through the bond, he was experiencing the battle from dozens of perspectives simultaneously. Caesar feel their ships, he said, his voice strained but determined. Harvesters think this easy fight. They wrong. Baby Kin was making soft musical sounds, and Caesar realized the infant was somehow helping to strengthen the connection between the allied forces. Baby helping, he said with wonder. Baby make the feeling stronger between everyone. Agent Wolf was coordinating with military command. All units report unprecedented coordination with alien forces. Success rate of joint operations is over 90%. Dr. Chen was monitoring Caesar's vital signs with growing concern. The strain on his system is enormous. I don't know how long he can maintain this level of neural activity. Caesar okay, the gorilla insisted, though sweat was beading on his forehead. Caesar feel human pilots flying better than ever before. Caesar feel alien ships moving like one big animal. We winning. Through the radio they could hear the voice of a human fighter pilot. This is incredible. It's like I can see through the alien ship's sensors. I know exactly where the enemy is going to be before they move. But the harvesters were adapting to the unexpected resistance. The largest of their ships began to glow with a sickly green light. Warning, Zara shouted. They're charging a planet cracker weapon. If that fires, it will create earthquakes across your entire continent. Caesar's eyes snapped open, blazing with an intensity that wasn't entirely human anymore. No, Caesar, not let that happen. He stood up, still holding Kin, and walked to the window. Looking up at the massive harvester ship, he did something that defied all understanding of physics and biology. He spoke directly to the ship, and somehow, impossibly, they heard him. You leave Earth alone, Caesar's voice boomed across the battlefield, carried by some combination of alien technology and the power of the bond. This world protected now. This world has family. The response came back in a voice like grinding metal. Primitive creatures. You will be harvested. Your resources will serve the expansion. Wrong, Caesar replied. And now his voice carried harmonics that resonated with baby Kin's musical tones. Earth, not primitive. Earth has something you never have. Earth has beings who choose to help each other. The harvester ship's weapons were almost fully charged. In seconds, it would fire a beam capable of cracking tectonic plates, but Caesar wasn't finished. Caesar, show you what family means, he said. And through the bond, every human pilot, every alien crew member, every person in the battle felt his determination. What happened next would be studied by scientists for generations. Caesar somehow channeled the collective will of both species through the bond, creating a feedback loop that amplified their combined abilities beyond anything either species could achieve alone. Human missiles suddenly flew with impossible accuracy. Alien energy beams struck with surgical precision. Fighter jets moved like they were extensions of their pilots' thoughts, while alien ships flowed through space like schools of fish. The harvester fleet, designed to intimidate and overwhelm primitive species, found itself facing an enemy they had never encountered before. Two species working as one. Impossible, the metallic voice snarled. Your coordination should take decades to achieve. Not when you have Caesar, came the response from hundreds of voices speaking in unison, human and alien alike. Not when you have family. The planet cracker weapon fired, but the combined fleet was ready. Every ship, human and alien, focused their combined shielding on the beam's path. The energy that should have shattered continents was absorbed, dispersed, and redirected back at the harvester ship that fired it. The explosion lit up the sky like a second sun. First harvester ship destroyed, Agent Wolf reported, her voice filled with awe. How is this possible? Love, Caesar said simply, looking down at baby Kin. When family in danger, no weapon strong enough to stop family protecting family. But the battle wasn't over. The remaining two harvester ships were regrouping, and Caesar could feel their rage and determination through the cosmic noise of the battlefield. They calling for reinforcements, he warned. More ships coming from deep space. Zara looked concerned. How many more? Caesar's expression grew grim. Many. Too many for just us. But then baby Kin did something extraordinary. The infant began to sing. Not with voice, but with some form of telepathic communication that reached out beyond Earth's solar system. What is Kin doing? Dr. Chen asked. Tren's eyes widened with understanding. The child is calling for help. Using the bond network Caesar created as an amplifier. Calling who? Everyone, Zara whispered. Every peaceful species within range of the signal. Kin is telling them that Earth is worth saving. That humans are worth saving because of what Caesar has shown us about the potential for interspecies cooperation. Caesar smiled down at the baby. Smart baby. Very smart baby. Through the bond, they began to feel responses to Kin's call. Ships from a dozen different species were changing course, heading toward Earth. Some would arrive within hours. Others would take days. But the immediate battle was far from over, and the remaining harvester ships were preparing for a final, devastating assault. Caesar, Zara said urgently. The harvesters are going to try to destroy the planet rather than let it remain free. Can you feel their intention? Caesar nodded grimly. Caesar feel it. They rather break Earth than let Earth be example to other worlds. Then we need to stop them, Agent Wolf said. Whatever it takes. Caesar looked around the room at all the beings who had become his unlikely family. A human police chief who had trusted him. A doctor who had cared for him. An FBI agent who had fought for peaceful contact. Aliens who had welcomed him as one of their own. And in his arms a baby who had chosen him as protector. Caesar have idea, he said. Dangerous idea, but might work. What kind of idea? Chief Hayes asked. Caesar's expression was determined but sad. Caesar, go to harvester ship. Bring baby. Show them what family means. If they still want to destroy Earth after seeing baby. He paused. Then Caesar, make sure they go down with Earth. Absolutely not, Dr. Chen said immediately. It's suicide. Maybe, Caesar agreed. But baby worth it. Earth worth it. Family worth protecting. Before anyone could stop him, Caesar was walking toward the door. Everyone in the room moved to stop Caesar, but he was already at the door, baby Kin cradled safely in his massive arms. What they hadn't expected was for Zara to step forward and place a gentle hand on his shoulder. "If Caesar goes," she said firmly, "he doesn't go alone." "My child, my responsibility, and mine," Tren added, moving to Caesar's other side. "The bond connects us all now. We face this together." Agent Wolf was frantically calling for helicopter support while Chief Hayes coordinated with the remaining officers in the building. "If you're really going to do this insane thing, you're going to have proper backup." Dr. Chen grabbed her medical kit. "Someone needs to monitor Caesar's vital signs during whatever this plan involves." Caesar looked around at all of them, his eyes bright with emotion. Caesar never have family before. Now Caesar have two families, human family and star family. 3 families, Baby Kin said clearly, speaking its first word in English. "Kin have Caesar family too." Everyone stopped and stared. The baby had spoken in perfect English with understanding far beyond its apparent age. "Bond is making baby grow faster," Tren explained. "Caesar's intelligence is accelerating Kin's development." Outside, one of the smaller alien ships had landed in the parking lot, its hull opening to reveal a transport compartment large enough for their group. As they made their way to the ship, Caesar could feel the battle raging above them through the bond. Human and alien forces were holding their own, but the 2 remaining harvester ships were preparing something catastrophic. "They're going to overload their power cores," Caesar said as they boarded the alien vessel. "Turn themselves into bombs big enough to crack the planet." "How long do we have?" Agent Wolf asked. "Not long. Maybe 1 hour." The alien ship lifted off silently, rising through the clouds toward the massive harvester vessels. As they climbed, Caesar could see the extent of the battle below. Dozens of human aircraft flying in perfect formation with alien ships, their combined fire focused on keeping the harvesters from targeting population centers. "Beautiful," Caesar said, watching the coordination he had helped create. Humans and star people fighting as one family. Baby Kin was looking out the transparent walls of the ship with those golden eyes, making soft sounds that seemed to be directed at the harvester ships ahead. "What is Kin saying?" Caesar asked. Zara listened to the musical tones with growing amazement. "The child is negotiating, trying to communicate with the harvesters' artificial intelligence systems. Baby talking to their computers. More than that, Kin is trying to show them what they're destroying. The bonds between species, the potential for growth and cooperation. The child is making an argument for Earth's value that goes beyond simple resources." As they approached the lead harvester ship, its weapon systems locked onto their small vessel, but instead of firing, a communication channel opened. "Surrender the breeding specimen and your deaths will be swift," the metallic voice commanded. Caesar stood up in the ship, somehow his presence affecting the communication system, so his voice could be transmitted. "No surrender. Caesar want to talk. You are inferior beings. We do not negotiate with livestock. Caesar not livestock. Caesar is family. And Caesar have something you never see before." Before the harvesters could respond, Caesar did something unprecedented. Through the bond, he shared not just his own memories, but the memories of everyone connected to the network. The moment Dr. Chen first examined him with kindness, Chief Hayes standing up to armed soldiers to protect him, Agent Wolf choosing cooperation over conflict, the aliens welcoming him as one of their own, Baby Kin choosing him as family, the harvester ship's weapons powered down slightly. What are these transmissions?" the voice asked, and for the first time it sounded confused rather than threatening. "Family," Caesar replied. "Love. Beings choosing to help each other even when different. Caesar show you what makes Earth special." Through the bond network, every human and alien in the battle began sharing their own memories of cooperation, kindness, sacrifice for others, soldiers risking their lives to save civilians, scientists sharing knowledge freely, parents caring for children who weren't their own species. The flood of emotional data overwhelmed the harvesters' analytical systems. They were a species that had conquered through fear and superior technology, but they had never encountered anything like this coordinated display of interspecies compassion. "Impossible," the voice said, but it now carried a note of uncertainty. "Species cannot achieve such coordination, cannot achieve such unity." "Wrong." Baby Kin spoke directly to the harvester ship, its young voice somehow carrying across the communication link. "Family can do anything. Love stronger than weapons." The second harvester ship moved to attack their small vessel, but the first ship actually moved to intercept, protecting them. "Stand down," the metallic voice commanded its companion. I am. Studying these creatures further, Caesar could feel the artificial intelligence in the harvester ship struggling to process what it was experiencing. For the first time in its existence, it was seeing cooperation instead of conquest, love instead of dominance. You want to harvest Earth, Caesar said gently, but Earth already growing something more valuable than any resource. Earth growing family between different peoples. The efficiency calculations do not account for such variables, the voice admitted. Because you never see it before, Caesar explained. Harvesters always take from worlds alone, never see worlds working together. Through the bond, Caesar could feel more ships arriving at the edge of the solar system. The response to baby Kin's call was growing stronger. Dozens of different species, all coming to help defend Earth not because they had to, but because they wanted to protect what Caesar and Kin had shown was possible. Your reinforcements have arrived, Agent Wolf observed, looking at the displays showing new ships entering Earth's vicinity. Not reinforcements, the harvester voice said slowly. Witnesses. They come to see if what you claim is real. It real, Caesar said simply. Caesar show you. Kin show you. Earth show you. The remaining harvester ships powered down their weapons entirely. Around them, the combined human-alien fleet maintained defensive positions but held their fire. We have never encountered a world that chose unity over division, the harvester voice said finally. We do not have protocols for this situation. Baby Kin made a happy musical sound and reached out toward the communication interface. Kin teach you protocols. Kin show you how family works. What followed was the strangest first contact negotiation in galactic history. A baby alien, a genetically enhanced gorilla, and representatives from over 20 different species worked together to teach a race of conquerors about cooperation, love, and the value of choosing family over fear. By the end of the day, the harvester ships had withdrawn, not in defeat but in confusion and wonder. They had come to harvest a primitive world and instead discovered something that challenged everything they believed about how species interacted. The various alien vessels that had responded to Kin's call remained in orbit around Earth, establishing what would become the first interspecies diplomatic station in human history. And at the center of it all, in a small police station in New Angeles, Caesar sat holding baby Kin while Chief Hayes filled out what had to be the most unusual incident report in police history. So, Chief Hayes said, looking up from his paperwork, how do I explain to the city council that our animal control budget is going to need to account for interplanetary custody arrangements? Caesar laughed, a sound that carried both human joy and alien harmonics. Caesar think maybe Earth need bigger budget for lots of things now. Dr. Chen was monitoring both Caesar and Kin, amazed at how the bond continued to strengthen and evolve. You've both changed so much in just one day. Caesar, your cognitive abilities are now far beyond any human baseline, and Kin, you're developing at an incredible rate. Bond make both stronger, Caesar explained. Make Earth stronger too. Now Earth have family among stars. Agent Wolf was coordinating with various government agencies, but she paused to look at Caesar with genuine admiration. You know, when this day started, you were just an escaped lab subject hiding in the woods. Now you're arguably the most important being on the planet. Caesar looked down at baby Kin, who was falling asleep in his arms after the most eventful day in galactic history. Caesar not important, he said softly. Family important. Love important. Choosing to help each other important. Outside the windows, human aircraft continued to fly in formation with alien ships, the beginning of a cooperation that would reshape both species forever. But Caesar glad baby chose Caesar, he added with a smile. Caesar glad Caesar chose to help baby. Sometimes best things happen when you just try to do right thing. Baby Kin made one last musical sound before falling fully asleep, and somehow everyone in the room understood what it meant. Thank you for showing the universe that family isn't about what species you are. Family is about choosing to love and protect each other. And in that small police station, surrounded by the most unlikely family in the galaxy, Caesar knew he had finally found where he belonged.